Gig workers, let's unite. Let's fucking unite. Let's put aside our racial differences and let's unite. We started doing gig jobs because we have big dreams. We don't want to be trapped in some Walmart or Kmart or some of that shit. Going there every day, working 40 hours plus 30 minutes to get there, 45 minutes or 1 hour to get there. And, we're not, work 40 hours and you take out taxes all day and add another job. We don't want to live like that. We want to pursue our real dream while we, go out, hustle 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, and make big bucks. And the reason why they're decreasing the pay is because they want to take us back to the old. They want to take us back to what take us the direction we never wanted to go in the first place, which is why we became gig workers. Keep us poor, keep us in a very rigid type of lifestyle where you don't have time for yourself really. You spend so much time and hours working. You used to be able to just work 3 hours, 4 hours as a gig employee and bank and go home, chill, do whatever you have to do, hang out, whatever, have a lot of time, personal time to yourself. But they're changing that. And they're not changing it right away, but each step they take, it's they're bringing the pay down. And not only are they bringing the pay down, they are actually increasing the distances that we go to pick up and drop off these orders. Why are they doing this? If it's a computer algorithm working the math, then if I am by Sushirito or one of those restaurants, I should be the one to grab it and take it somewhere. But the order is going to come to me when I'm like half a mile away from there, and the drop off is like half a mile away. So they want you to grow half a mile to pick up an order from Sushirito when there are drivers who are right around Sushirito and they don't assign the order to that driver. Like, what the hell, man? Like, what's really going on? Who is behind this? Who is making this harder for the gig employers? What do they benefit from this? Before, when you were working for Grubhub, it was like a prestige to work for Grubhub because the customers would pay first and pay their tip first, and you will see the order $17 to go 3 blocks. But someone got offended that the customers were tipping us and we're making good money. And they said, oh, you know what? We're going to have the customers tip after. Like, why are they doing this? Who is upset that drivers are making money? Like, how can you explain this? And not only did they take away the tips completely, you work a whole Grubhub shift, you only make one tip now. Just one person will tip you $5 after the fact. Not only did they take away the tip, now they are actually sending you further distances because they worked the algorithm to be that okay, you go a mile for $8, kind of, sort of. But even with that, that's what they claim that you're not going to pay less than $8. So when you do the math and you see the same distances come up all the time right around $8, then you figure they program that into the algorithm that for each mile you go, you're gonna get right around $8. But even for that, they're still not true to their word, even when it comes to that, because you would get a lot of orders, $12 to do a batch order. I'm seeing that a lot with Grubhub now. I really don't get it. With I really don't get it. $12 to do a batch order, 2 orders, pick up 2 orders from 2 different restaurants for $12. Like, how low are they gonna go? Like, we have to unite. We have to form some type of Facebook group, right? And we have to start, growing our numbers on that group. And when we get big enough, we can do something. I can't do it by myself. You can't do it by yourself. We all have families to feed, you know? We all have families to feed. So we have to figure something out. We have to start a Facebook group. I'm not talking about all those Facebook group that has been in the past. No. I'm not talking about, just making videos to get likes and stuff so your, YouTube channel grow. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a group for action, a platform for action, because you alone cannot walk up to those companies by yourself. So what we can do, we can start some type of a union for gig workers on Facebook. So when we grow in numbers, when we see these companies going out of hand, we can speak up, we can stop, we can negotiate. We can, our numbers, the heads of, this group or whatever can negotiate, they can do something because this is outright not right. It's right now because our numbers are really low. We don't have, clout when it comes to numbers. So when we see one app acting stupid, we run to the other app. Now everybody's like, "Oh, Uber Eats is the main app. Is the main app." And you know what? Pretty soon Uber Eats is gonna catch up with the bullshit. Because the bullshit was with Grubhub. Now DoorDash is with the bullshit of low pay and further distances. And really soon Uber Eats is going to catch up on the bullshit. Because remember, all these heads of these companies, they know each other. They're not in competition with each other. They meet each other in conferences, in dinners, in seminars. They meet each other in parties. They meet each other. So you think they're against each other, but they're not against each other. They know each other. So pretty so they when Mr. Grubhub head goes to a party and meets Mr. Uber Eats head, he's gonna say, "Hey, look at how we're making more money now at the top. We're giving them low pay, we're sending them further distances, and they're taking it." So Mr. Uber Eats is gonna be like, "Oh shit, what am I doing? I should do that too." So where you gonna run to when Uber Eats start doing the same thing? Where you gonna run to? We need to come together, gig workers. We need to come together. We need to start Facebook groups, not to grow clout, not to, no, to a group for action. We have to do it now and we have to do it fast. When we started, you tell every gig worker that you know to join it and to tell others that they know to join it. As soon as we get big enough, we can hire someone. We can start a contribution. We can hire lawyers or whatever to fight for us because this is not right. You can't keep running. You can't keep looking at this, whatever they throw at you because you're pretty much helpless. So whatever they throw at you now, you go with it or you run. You think you're helpless. That's why you think there's absolutely nothing you can do. And kind of sort of you are helpless because you're by yourself. You're a loner 24/7. You're going out doing all this gig work. You're coming home, you're alone. So you're pretty much on your own. So whatever they throw at you, you just have to take it. But if you had a group, that grow in numbers to about 2,000, you can take some type of collective action. We have to come together. We have to unite because they're going to keep pressing and pressing and pressing until the point that, because they're not just going to turn you into an employer. They're going to press and press and press and press and press. So now they have you doing gig work but making employer money. Before you were making gig worker money and you were not an employer. So now they have you doing gig work and you're making employer money, and a ton of you guys don't even have insurance. So like you really fucked. They were trying to get you guys to become employers not long ago, but you guys didn't like it. But that's even a huge burden of their neck because it's now they can get away with all the expenses that being an employer comes along with. They can have you do gig work for much less pay and they make more money and they treat you like employers because they have you doing a whole bunch of deliveries more than you would do before, and you're making less money and you're going further distances and you burnt out. For you to make $100 now, you have to do pretty much 10 orders. 10 orders to make $100. Before, you don't have to do 10 orders to make $100. Now they have you doing, you know, batch orders for same pay. Before you would do, what's it called? Collective? No, what's that word? That you when you get a lot of, a big order, um, catering. Before they would have you do catering orders as a gig worker, and you get catering pay. Now they've really dropped the catering pay. I did a catering order for Grubhub. I went 2 miles, and Grubhub paid me $11. The lady, when I arrived there, she felt sorry for me. She was like, no, 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 and she wasn't really like, no, no, no. She was like, okay, I'll tip you on the app, but I kind of said no subtly, not on the app, because if you allow her to tip you on the app, they're not gonna tip you as much, maybe like $5. So she said, oh, do you have Venmo? I was like, yes, I have Venmo. So I gave her my Venmo right away, and she tipped me $20. So I got lucky. I made $30 in that order. But if I had let her part ways and tip me on the app, she might tip me $5. So I did a catering order on my bike, e-bike, thank God. Catering order for how much? $15 if she didn't tip me $20. But Grubhub paid me $11 to do a catering order. When I gave her the order, she said it was heavy because it was a big order. Guys, guys, we have to come together. This shit affects all of us. It affects every gig employer. I'm not bringing this idea out there for clout. I know everyone's going to jump on it and start talking about it because they want to be the one behind it. But it's more than that. It's more than that. So you know why gig work is really messed up now? Because so many content creators have capitalized of the gig economy, but they're worrying for the gig workers. They make videos for clout, they make videos to get more views, but there was never any type of action. They give you advice on what to do, but just the whole content was geared towards the company is always right, so you just try to survive. This is the best way to survive. But it's not about empowering you, getting you together in groups. There's power in numbers. When you start a group and it starts growing, your cries can be heard. Now your cries are not being heard. You guys are suffering and boxing everything in. You can't keep boxing this shit in. You know? Guys, like sometimes I want to go out and I'm like, should I go out? Should I not go out? I want to go out. Should I not go out? And I go out and I'm like, fuck, why the fuck did I even go out? Like it's gotten to that point. Because you guys are not feeling it, because you can get up in the morning, 7 a.m. and Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats all day until nighttime. I can't live like that. I can't do that. I started gig work when gig work was really fucking cool, when you work 3-4 hours, and that's what I'm still doing now. I go out in the evenings, I work 3-4 hours, and whatever I make, that's it. Now it's 200 down, so 150 now, 140, 130. Like what the fuck, man? I mean, like, fuck, it's just getting ridiculous. You wait for 10 minutes for an order, an order comes 3 miles. Who's gonna do that? Guys, we have to come together. We have to start a Facebook group. We have to unite. We have to grow in numbers. Please, if you agree with this, comment, let me know what you think. It's time for some action. Enough playing games. If you guys don't do something now, you're gonna go back to fucking Walmart. They're gonna keep pressing you and pressing you and pressing you. Because remember, their job is to keep you poor. And when they started this stuff, they wanted to see if it works. That's why you were making a lot of money. But now that they figured that it's worked, it's in the minds of people, they have a good brand. Now it's time for them to get richer and keep you poorer. So don't get fooled by Uber Eats being cool now, because they just merged with Postmates. So they don't know how this is going to go. So when it starts out, they're going to pay you guys, all you guys need, just to keep you guys around. Then when they see that, okay, their plan is successful as a joint brand, new brand, they hold a place, people recognize them, they're not going anywhere, then the next step is to keep you guys poorer and keep you guys working more and making less and keeping them rich. Because the numbers multiply, triplify, quadruply as it goes up. If they take 10, if they, deduct 10 cents from your pay, that turns into hundreds of millions when you multiply how many deliveries, how many drivers as it goes up. So that's how they get richer. So if they cut you guys $1 less, times that by all the DoorDash employees, times that by all the DoorDash workers, all the Grubhub workers, all the tips. Now imagine if a Grubhub order that you would make $30 for before, now you got paid $10 for that order. Imagine how that trickles all the orders as it goes up. They get billions anytime they dock you guys from what you guys are supposed to receive. So that's why they keep doing it. They're getting richer and richer and richer anytime you guys get low pay. The guys at the top are like, you know what? Today, I want to make fucking 500 million. You know, they duck you guys. Blah, 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 blah. Like $1, whatever, $5, $10. It multiplies as it goes up when you times that by all the employees, all the orders. You're talking millions, billions. That's why they keep doing it. But you guys you can't do the math because you're so late in your thinking. You're just going out and doing your deliveries. You're not working the math as it trickles, as it goes up to the top. So guys, we have to do something fast. I didn't want to go out yesterday. I went out and I just was really sad that I went out. And I was like, fuck this shit. So I'll be talking more on these issues as time goes on. Peace.